With YouTube attacking alternative media, please consider supporting the channel via Patreon for just $1 per month. Link below. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and Netflix did something wholly unprecedented in 2017. It ran comedy specials, new comedy specials, every single week throughout the course of the year. In fact, we got 4 Dave Chappelle specials in 2017. And I don't know about you, but man, that's awesome. I love Chappelle, and he got paid a lot of money. The first 2 movies, or the first 2 specials he put out in early 2017 gave him an estimated $60 million. And the last 2, we haven't talked about how much he's made there, but you can assume that both Equanimity and The Bird Redemption opening up on New Year's Eve definitely pulled in a pretty penny, especially now he's on tour and doing everything else again. So yeah, no, Dave Chappelle, he rich. Oh, he rich bitch, definitely. But that's angering some other people who want to work with Netflix and they want to get the same kind of cash that Chappelle gets, and that would be Monique here. She's actually calling for a boycott of Netflix over alleged gender and race pay disparity. Here we go, because this is, again, these are always kind of fun, if anything. As the Me Too and Time's Up movement continues to gain momentum in Hollywood, so does the issue of gender pay disparity. More than that, the issue of race and gender pay disparity has surfaced. Actress and comedian Monique, not afraid to be outspoken, recently called out Netflix for an offer that was considerably less than her comedian colleagues. Okay. I mean, not everyone's going to get offered the same thing. That's how Hollywood works. Like you have an agent, that agent would then negotiate on your behalf, kind of like what happened with Mark Wahlberg and All the Money in the World and all the reshoots of that. But it says here, the Academy Award-winning actress took to Instagram with a video saying, "I am asking that you stand with me to boycott Netflix for gender bias and color bias. I was offered a $500,000 deal last week to do a comedy special. However, Amy Schumer was offered $11 million, Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle $20 million. That sounds about right. And if you're going to go, but Matt, Monique is a legend. Yeah, no, I agree. I like Monique. I have nothing against Monique. But when's the last time you've heard of her? Right? Precious from 2008, I think, 2008, whenever that movie came out. She won the Academy Award for that. Other than that, you haven't seen much out of her. Maybe a couple little things here or there, but you know, if you were to say to someone on the street, "Oh, have you ever heard of Monique?" They'll be like, "Who?" Probably like at least 7 out of 10 times. Whereas if you were to say to someone, "Have you ever heard of Dave Chappelle? You ever heard of Chris Rock? You ever heard of Amy Schumer?" Then you're going to hear yes, yes, and unfortunately, yes. So that's one of the reasons why Amy Schumer got 11 million. Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock got 20 million. I mean, Dave Chappelle got a lot more than 20 million. And it's worth it because his special is great. Haven't seen Chris Rock's yet. She then pointed out that after a renegotiation, Schumer's deal was up to $13 million. Netflix also pointed out that Rock and Chappelle are legends. Now, here's the deal with Amy Schumer, though. Amy Schumer tried this whole thing. She had the Leather special come out early in 2017. It became this insanely disliked special on Netflix. It's not funny. Just watch the trailer. She has a line in there about how her vagina smells like a barnyard. Like, I showed it to my girlfriend, and she's like, "That's not funny." I'm like, yeah, no one wants to sit there and, you know, like, think about a vagina smelling like, you know, Babe the Pig was just playing around in there and anything else. But she was mad and she tried playing the sexism card for them paying her less when Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock made a lot more. So she negotiated for a bit more. And honestly, I feel Netflix overpaid for the entirety. She should have only gotten like $500,000. Now, Monique asked the streaming giant about the pay gap between her and Schumer, and they responded with, "Well, we believe this is what Monique will bring." And she said, "We go, what about my resume?" And they said, "We don't go off resumes." Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They don't go, Hollywood doesn't really ever go off a resume. In Hollywood, it's never, "Oh, so I see that you've done this. It's always, "What have you done lately? What is the last thing you've done? How popular are you right now?" Now, there are people out there that will always supersede that. Someone like Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, they've been around for a long time, especially Chappelle. Having exited the Chappelle show the way that he did, having gone to Africa the way that he did, having left it all behind the way that he did, how he went basically silent for a decade almost, him coming back is a big freaking deal, all right? Him winning an Emmy for being on SNL and mocking all of his characters from the Chappelle show is a big freaking deal. Monique, have you won an Emmy lately? No, you haven't. That's the whole point here, right? Schumer had Snatched, which no one saw. And it was written by the woman who co-wrote Ghostbusters, to give you an idea for how crappy it was. She says she asked Netflix, what about Amy Schumer? They responded that she has sold out Madison Square Garden and has had a huge summer movie, to which Monique said, is that not Amy Schumer's resume? No, it's Amy Schumer's last job. That's a different situation here, right? It's it's all about what's the last thing that you've done. That's your resume. That's ultimately what it is. And the thing is, when's Monique sold out Madison Square Garden? When's the last time that happened? You know, according to the video, Monique said that the streaming giant thought of her as a legend, to which she said, why shouldn't I get what the legends are getting? And ultimately that was Netflix problem right there, is they're trying to placate her ego, because that clearly was a big part of this. Like, why aren't I getting what they're getting? Like, well, no, you're a legend too. But I mean, like, you're a bit, you know, like, do a special, have it do really, really, really well on Netflix, and then they'll order another one from you that will be paid a lot more because you brought in the people. It's a meritocracy. You are literally paid based upon your worth. It's true. It's true. Shortly after, actress and fellow comedian Wanda Sykes, who is black and a member of the LGBT community, just say she's a lesbian. Like, do you have to, if a person is like, you always have to sit there and like lump it all together. It's like Wanda Sykes is black, female, and a lesbian. I mean, the two are kind of the last two are synonymous, but ultimately it's like, I find that to be funny. Tweeted at Monique saying, thank you for speaking out. Netflix offered me less than half of your $500K. I was offended, but I found another home, and that would be Epix. And then maybe, yeah, there you go. You know, Netflix doesn't have to pay you what they're paying everybody else. That's the whole point. If Epix wants to pay more because Epix wants to compete with Netflix, they'll pay out more. Go to Epix. They're a good service. They are. Monique took to Instagram again this morning in another video after learning about Sykes' even wider pay gap, saying, how is it that Wanda Sykes and Monique together, these two black women who have 50 plus years in the comedy game, be offered $750,000 between both of us, and Amy Schumer gets $13 million? Amy Schumer has a show on Comedy Central. I don't know why, but she does. She sold out Madison Square Garden. I don't know why, but she has. People continuously cast her in things. I don't know why, but they do. When's the last time Monique was in anything? This isn't an issue of disparity or fairness. This is an issue about what do you bring to the table in terms of the numbers. Netflix is going to, they'll shell out $60 million for Dave Chappelle. Monique, if you want to sit there and get $60 million, you got to freaking be bringing those comedy specials. You got to be packing them houses. You got to, you know, if you take time off, and I don't know if she's been active in the time, I'm sure she has been, but I mean, it's like, you don't got the numbers for it. Not right now. It's a comeback tour. It's a comeback tour. That's ultimately what it boils down to. She says it's got nothing to do with Schumer because if she was able to get that, then she was supposed to. Well, Schumer cried sexism in 2017 and then complained to Netflix, so they gave her what she wanted. She reiterated that her and Sykes are two black female comedians with 50 plus years experience at the top of their game and were offered $750,000. She ended saying, make that make sense. Well, I'm actually surprised Wanda Sykes was offered that little, because Wanda Sykes is more active than Monique. So that's very weird. The news comes after reports of another instance of alleged pay disparity between Mark Wahlberg and Michelle Williams when director Ridley Scott gathered them over Thanksgiving holiday to reshoot scenes for All the Money in the World. Yeah, exactly. So at this point now, she's calling for a boycott of Netflix and putting out video after video on Instagram, trying to get people worked up to boycott Netflix. Monique, I hate to be the bearer of reality here. No one is going to boycott Netflix. Take the $500,000, do the job. It's good money. $500,000 in today's market is not bad. I know you feel you're worth more. I get that. I do understand that. I'm not mocking that or disregarding those feelings. But when it comes to what's popular makes money, you're not there anymore. You can get back there. I'm not saying you can. I fully believe you can. But this is where you have a comeback story. Right? So do the special, $500,000, or go to Epix, take whatever they give you. Start there. Kill it. Knock it out of the park. Make it the best damn thing you've ever done. Then when they come knocking back, because they're going to want to do more of this, order more from you because you brought in the numbers, then they'll be able to sit there and you'll be able to sit there with your agent and renegotiate for more money. It's a very simple process. But crying and complaining about it on Instagram and calling for a boycott of a streaming service with 100 million people is not going to work out the way that you want it to. And as a result of that, you're only going to look bad in the process, because you're basically calling out someone for offering you money for a gig. And if you don't get what you want, if you don't walk out ahead on this one, the next offer you get is going to be significantly lower, because people don't want to work with someone who does that. You know how the industry works. You are taking a risk that will not have a positive reflection upon your career. And I think that's just the cold, hard truth of it. We all want to be paid more money. Hell yeah. I want to be paid more money. I want like, a few grand a month in Patreon and whatnot. That'd be freaking awesome. But I have to earn it. I can't just demand it. Neither can you. You're not Chappelle. I'm not Chappelle. You're not Amy Schumer. But ultimately, that's a good thing. Anyway, what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments below. I'm very curious to know what you guys have to say. Be sure to thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, check back often for more content from me. If you want to support the channel, Patreon is the best way to do that. Links below in the video description. And if you just want to hang out, watch more content, you can do so right now.